Welcome back, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're going to talk about Netflix The Witcher. Now, since the show was announced, there were many issues regarding the casting and how Lauren Schmidt, the showrunner, is adapting the books, and recently Lauren spoke on Twitter about inclusivity and their version of the universe. This is what she wrote. The books are Polish and packed with Slavic spirit. It was important to keep the same tone in our show. With that in mind, I asked around, especially to Polish friends, can the Slavic culture be reduced solely down to skin color? The answer was resounding, God, we hope not. We're making the show for 190 countries. In all the creative adaptations, changes are made with the audience in mind. In the video games, Geralt and the Witchers have American accents. That's not what was in the books, but developers wisely knew they should appeal to a broader base. The Witcher is really interesting when it comes to depicting racism because it's about species, not skin color. What makes characters other is the shape of their ears, height, etc. In the books, no one pays attention to skin color. In the series, no one does either, period. In terms of casting, we welcomed everyone and anyone to put themselves forward to prove they could embody the character. We saw all ages, all ethnicities, all levels of talent, from movie stars to fans in Poland who never acted professionally before. We chose the best actors. I've been clear about my actions not being a result of feeling liberal. I hope this helps explain my true motivations. Polish culture not being synonymous with whiteness, appealing to a wider audience, honoring the book's allegory for racism, finding the best actors. And in the end, this is something I'm not going to mention that much. As for Ginger, speak of that shit, it's a travesty. I don't know how to respond to that. Now, I know this will spark wild discussions in the comments, but we are going to go and look at the first tweet. Well, when she says, can the Slavic culture be reduced solely to skin color, the answer was resounding, God, we hope not. Yes, that's true, you can't reduce it to that, but fans did question if some of the casting choices were made just to include, let's say, black actors, etc., because we know that in today's age, you have to satisfy some check marks to not be this or that, which is just plainly stupid. Everyone should be allowed to do adaptation that they want to do. If that adaptation is bad, in the end, the market will decide. Now, if their casting tapes were really that good to make someone say, out of all these people, I will choose you, then I'm fine, for as long as the acting part is okay. Even though so far I'm not a fan of Triss casting, but hopefully I will be proved wrong, and it's not because she is black or anything, it's because when I look at her, I just don't see Triss, at least not from the teaser trailer, because now look at this, I always like to give an actor a chance to show what they can do before I say, oh, it was a terrible decision or it was an amazing decision. So I am giving everyone a chance here. So hopefully Triss Merigold is going to be as it was described in the books, especially with the sense of her personality and everything else. And I know she wants to capture the Slavic spirit, even though they have British accents in the show, but it's not a problem because indeed in the Witcher games they did have American accents. Not everyone, Nilfgaardians talk differently, and that is something the show needs to do as well. If someone is from Nilfgaard or from other parts of the realm or the universe of the world, they have to talk differently and not have the same accent as, let's say, people from the Northern Kingdoms. And the tone is okay, I really like the cinematography and CGI in that teaser, except from Geralt having huge muscles, which is something you wouldn't really find in that age and universe, at least not from Geralt. I know Letho was built like a mountain, but I don't know, we'll see when the show comes out. And one thing I also liked about Henry is, number one, he did play the games, number two, he did read all the books. I know that Ciri and Yennefer, their actresses, I think they read 2 books before they started the show, but Henry was like, I'm going to read everything, and I played the game, so he really wanted that role. I hope that it's not because he wanted that role and because he is a AAA actor that they chose him because of that, but Lauren said long time ago is when she actually had a sit down with Henry is that he really did capture Geralt of Rivia as she imagined him in her head. Also, if you're aiming for that Slavic spirit, the music needs to be at least Slavic or inspired by Slavic culture to fit. The teaser had generic music, and even though they hired 2 Slavic composers for the show, in my opinion, trailers also need to capture that to actually immerse the people to watch the show, because if you get the right tone in the trailer, you will have a lot more people interested in the show. And I know that some of the things that usually showrunners make are to satisfy the broader audience, because you still have millions and millions of people who are going to see this. Some of them never heard about the game, some of them never heard about the books, so you always have to find a sweet spot between that to actually make the show work. That is what every single show did. Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, everything, every single show, every single film has to find that sweet spot. There is also the question of racism. Indeed, yes, the racism in The Witcher is around species, not skin color, how humans treat non-humans, and the constant fight should be considered as an allegory to our society and how this fight between races and constant hate is stupid and unnecessary. Now, when you change the skin color of the character, there are many things in the background which become questionable, like from what place they come from, or who are their parents, and because the Witcher world is complicated as it is and you're trying to satisfy the lore, you also have to think about some of the things. So from one standpoint, I do understand why some fans are pissed, but for everyone who is just blatantly attacking the actresses and the actors for this and that is just plainly stupid. Come on. Again, the show won't go that far into detail regarding every single little bit of their background. Yes, Ciri, Yennefer and Geralt will have background stories. That is why Yennefer is a bit younger here. As seasons go on, she will age. And you can't compare her to Geralt because Geralt is a 100-year-old man. And this is something also Game of Thrones did with Daenerys Targaryen. She is younger there, and if you look at her in the season 8, she is a lot more mature, and that is something they want to capture with Yennefer. First off, as this innocent woman who just got accepted into Aretuza, and now as the seasons go on, hopefully she's going to have a good arc which is going to make her into Yennefer that we kinda expect. She also mentioned that in terms of casting, they welcomed everyone, so from the start, we know that everyone got a shot, including the fans, but you say that just to justify the range of participants. No show is going to take a fan who isn't a professional actor, or at least insanely talented, and by insanely I mean you have to be the next Daniel Day-Lewis from the start. And it can become a problem. Yes, generally actors who go through the academy are accepted because there are so many things that go into acting, because it's definitely not easy, from breathing to how you walk to how you do everything. And for just a fan to be accepted into a show with this level of production, it's extremely difficult, but yeah. She also says that her actions are not the result of her feeling liberal. We shall confirm that when the show comes out. I want to see how they handle certain things from the books. Not to go too far into the spoilers, but trust me, as soon as we see some of the scenes from the books and then onto the show, I will then say, okay, this is definitely the books and not someone's political view, but we'll see. Also, Henry said a very good thing in one of the interviews, that it's impossible to satisfy everyone, and that this is their version of the universe. Maybe someone had a different actor in mind, but when you're going for something, you must follow your own instincts rather than listen to the people on the internet, because there are so many opinions about everything. Everyone wants their favorite actor to play the role, so you kinda have to follow your instinct on that, but some of those opinions, honestly, on the internet were actually very good. Some were not, but what they created now is something that ultimately the market will decide about. The first season will have to be crucial for their success and continuation of the story. Now, let's be honest here, some of the criticism people have is completely stupid, like, where is the silver sword on Roach, end of story. And as much as people want to have the game adapted into the show, it cannot be done this way, not from the legal or any other perspective. And if you actually adapt to that, then you kind of have to mix these two things, and then is it about satisfying only these fans, or is it about following your version? So that's always a battle every single producer, every single director is going to have. But as I said, people will decide in the end if they like it or not. So far, the reception of the teaser, at least with dislike and like ratio, is positive. And look, just wait for the show to decide. So far, I like what I see. It's not that I'm blown away, but I am positively surprised. Honestly, I would go for some Slavic actors if I was making this show. Keep in mind, Witcher is from Poland, but it's based on Slavic folklore, which stretches over a much wider territory, but it is what it is, and I can't wait to see more. For the end, I have one advice for the crew and the cast of the series. I know that many opinions can be confusing, but in the end, no one should be excluded just because they said, oh, we don't like this bit or we don't like this bit. For as long as they're not racist or insulting towards something, fight with arguments, not swearing. That's something I always tell to people in my comments. Some listen, some don't. But hey, that is everything we have for today. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more Netflix The Witcher, and click that bell icon to be the first to see the latest news. Also join our amazing community on Discord and Twitter. LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.